Personal responsibility is the cornerstone of every successful comeback. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or even bad luck when things go wrong. But here's the truth. The moment you stop pointing fingers and start pointing to yourself is the moment you begin to regain control. When you take responsibility for your life, you acknowledge that you have the power to shape your future. No one else can dictate your success or failure unless you let them. It's about owning your choices, owning your actions, and owning your response to what life throws at you. Now, I know life isn't always fair. There will be times when you'll face challenges that seem out of your control. But here's the key. Even in those moments, you still have a choice. You choose how to react. You choose whether to stay down or get up. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for someone else to fix things for you. You stop looking for excuses and start finding solutions. The moment you step up and take responsibility, you empower yourself to make the changes necessary to turn your situation around. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, I am the one who can change my path. I am the one who will make things right. You control your destiny. A positive mindset is your greatest asset when it comes to bouncing back from any setback. It's easy to fall into the trap of negativity when things aren't going your way. But remember this, your mindset determines your outcome. How you think shapes what you experience. When life knocks you down, the first thing you must do is refuse to accept defeat in your mind. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is fine, but about choosing to focus on the opportunities within the struggle. Every obstacle has a silver lining, and it's your job to find it. A positive mindset helps you see that what looks like a problem is often a hidden lesson or a stepping stone to something better. The mind is incredibly powerful. If you believe you can bounce back, you're already halfway there. A positive mindset allows you to reframe negative situations and focus on what's possible, not what's impossible. It's about developing the habit of seeing challenges as temporary, not permanent. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you begin to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently? Having a positive mindset means expecting the best, even when the worst happens. It's not about being unrealistic or overly optimistic. It's about maintaining the faith that things can improve if you stay committed and keep a positive attitude. Even in your darkest moments, the way you think can bring light back into your life. In the face of adversity, it's easy to get overwhelmed by everything that seems out of your control. You might find yourself worrying about the past, stressing about the future, or trying to manipulate circumstances that are beyond your influence. But here's the truth. The more energy you waste on things you can't control, the less energy you have to focus on the things that you can change. The key to bouncing back from anything is focusing on what is within your power to influence. First and foremost, you control your actions, your mindset, and your response to the world around you. While you can't control other people's behavior, you can control how you react to them. You can't control the events that happen in life, but you can control how you handle those events. When you shift your focus to what's within your control, you immediately regain a sense of power. Instead of worrying about the things you can't change, you put your energy into the things that you can shape. You decide what your next step will be. You decide how you will carry yourself, and you decide how much effort you're willing to put in. By taking action on what you can control, you begin to move forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. You may not be able to change everything at once, but focusing on what you can do today makes a world of difference. It removes the feeling of helplessness and empowers you to make progress in the midst of uncertainty. Every setback carries with it the potential for growth. It might feel like a punch in the gut when things don't go as planned, but the reality is that setbacks are not the end, they are lessons waiting to be uncovered. If you treat every setback as a stepping stone, you transform failure into a valuable tool for improvement. The key is to step back and ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I learn from this? It's easy to focus on the pain of a setback, but if you look closely, you'll find the lesson hiding beneath the surface. A failure doesn't define you, but how you respond to it will. When you learn from your mistakes, you build the resilience necessary to face future challenges with a stronger, more informed mindset. In every setback, there's an opportunity to refine your strategy, strengthen your weaknesses, and sharpen your skills. If you fail to reach your goal, instead of being discouraged, ask yourself how you can approach it differently next time. Maybe you need to adjust your method, change your timing, or expand your knowledge. A setback is simply feedback, an indicator that something needs to change. And that's not a bad thing. When you choose to learn from every setback, you begin to see obstacles as opportunities. Instead of dreading failure, you start to embrace it because you know that it's just part of the process. Each failure is a chapter in your story that teaches you how to succeed. The more you learn, the less likely you are to repeat the same mistakes. And the closer you get to mastering your own journey, the story you tell yourself about your setbacks will determine how quickly you recover from them. Too often, when things go wrong, we find ourselves trapped in a narrative that keeps us stuck in the past, focused on the failure or the pain. But the truth is, your story is not written in stone, it's fluid, and you have the power to rewrite it at any time. Reframing the narrative means changing the way you look at your challenges. Instead of saying, "This happened to me," reframe it to, "This is happening for me." Every challenge has the potential to teach you something valuable. When you change your perspective, you no longer see your setback as something that's holding you back, but as something that's pushing you forward, even if it's in ways you don't immediately understand. Take a moment to examine how you're viewing your current situation. Are you seeing it as an insurmountable roadblock, or as an opportunity to grow stronger and smarter? The way you interpret a setback will shape the actions you take next. If you see it as a permanent defeat, your energy will shift toward resignation. But if you see it as temporary, as a lesson in disguise, you'll begin to act with renewed purpose and energy. Reframing is about finding meaning in the struggle. It's about asking yourself, what can I gain from this? Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you begin to feel empowered because you know that what you're going through is part of your journey, a journey that will ultimately lead to greater success and fulfillment. Every setback is just a plot twist in the story of your life. It's not the end, but the beginning of something new. Shift your narrative and you'll shift your entire experience. Mental toughness is not something you're born with. It's something you build over time, like a muscle that grows stronger with every challenge you face. It's the ability to endure, adapt, and rise above adversity without losing your focus, your direction, or your purpose. Life will test you, it will knock you down, and it will push you to your limits. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is not the obstacles they face, but how they handle them. Building mental toughness starts with conditioning your mind to stay focused on the goal, no matter how difficult the journey gets. When you encounter a setback, it's easy to give in to negative emotions. But mental toughness is about staying steady, even when the storms of life are raging around you. It's about having the strength to continue, even when everything inside you is telling you to quit. To build mental toughness, you need to embrace discomfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. When things get hard, don't retreat. Instead, lean into the challenge. Each time you push through difficulty, you build a stronger foundation for your mind. The more challenges you face, the more resilient you become, until eventually, setbacks feel less like obstacles and more like opportunities for growth. Mental toughness isn't about ignoring your feelings or pretending that tough times don't hurt. It's about acknowledging those feelings and choosing to move forward anyway. It's about developing a mindset that refuses to be defeated, a mindset that understands that every difficulty is temporary and that the ability to overcome lies within you. The more you practice resilience in small situations, the more prepared you'll be when bigger challenges come your way. When faced with a major challenge or setback, it can feel overwhelming to think about all the things that need to be done in order to turn things around. But the secret to bouncing back isn't always about making huge, sweeping changes in one go. It's about taking small, consistent steps forward, no matter how small they may seem. You don't need to have everything figured out or have the perfect plan in place. The key is to get started and to keep moving forward every single day, even if it's just an inch at a time. Consistency is what builds momentum. When you take action day after day, even when you don't feel like it, you create a habit of progress. Over time, those small actions compound, and before you know it, you've moved much farther than you ever thought possible. This principle applies to every area of your life, whether it's improving your health, building your career, or rebuilding your confidence after a setback. It's not about how fast you go, but how steadily you keep going. If you break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks, you'll find it much easier to stay on track and continue making progress. Small steps might not seem significant at first, but they add up over time. Think about climbing a mountain. You may not see the peak right away, but if you focus on taking one step at a time, eventually you'll reach the top. The more consistently you take action, the more progress you'll make, and the more you'll start to build the life you want to live. When you're facing a difficult time, the people you surround yourself with play a crucial role in your ability to bounce back. The right support system can be the difference between staying down and rising again. You need to be around people who uplift you, who believe in you, and who encourage you to keep going even when things seem tough. Negative or unsupportive people can drain your energy, feed your doubts, and reinforce your fears. Their pessimism can hold you back, making it harder for you to stay focused on your goals. That's why it's vital to carefully choose the people you let into your inner circle. The people you surround yourself with should be the ones who inspire you to become better, challenge you to grow, and support you in your journey, no matter how long it takes. Having a strong support system doesn't just mean people who are there for you during the good times. It means having people who will also lift you up when you're down, who will offer perspective and practical advice when things aren't going your way. It's about people who believe in your ability to overcome challenges, who encourage you to keep going even when you feel like giving up. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals helps to reinforce the mindset you need to succeed. They can provide emotional strength when you feel weak and remind you of your potential when doubt creeps in. You don't have to go through tough times alone, and when you're supported by people who genuinely care, your resilience becomes stronger. Your confidence grows, and your ability to bounce back from anything becomes that much more powerful. When you face setbacks, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. You might get caught up in the details of your struggles, the noise of uncertainty, or the overwhelming weight of challenges. But here's the key to bouncing back. Stay focused on your purpose. Your purpose is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when the storms of life hit. It's the reason you get up every day and keep going, even when everything else around you is falling apart. When you know your purpose, it gives you clarity. It cuts through the distractions and helps you keep your eyes on the bigger picture. No matter what happens in the short term, your purpose reminds you why you're in the game in the first place. It's the driving force that fuels your perseverance, your motivation, and your resilience. In times of struggle, your purpose is what gives you the strength to keep pushing forward. It's easy to get discouraged and let temporary setbacks define you. But when you stay focused on your purpose, you remember that these challenges are just a part of the journey. They're not the end. They're the stepping stones to something greater. Staying focused on your purpose also helps you prioritize your energy. It helps you choose where to direct your efforts and how to make the most of your time and resources. When you know what truly matters, you're able to filter out the noise and stay on course. No matter what life throws at you, keep your purpose at the forefront. It's the one thing that can never be taken away from you, and it will always guide you back on track, no matter how far you've strayed. Your purpose is your light in the dark, your fuel when you're running low, and your reminder that the journey is worth every challenge you face. When you're facing adversity, it's easy to lose patience and question the journey. Setbacks can make it feel like the process isn't working, like you're putting in the effort but not seeing the results you expect. But here's the truth. The process is where the transformation happens. It's not always visible in the moment, but every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the breakthrough you're waiting for. Keeping faith in the process means trusting that every challenge, every obstacle, and every setback is contributing to your growth. It's about believing that there's a bigger plan at play, one that you might not fully understand right now, but that you can trust will unfold in due time. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when it feels like you're stuck, you must have faith that the seeds you've planted will eventually bear fruit. The process is about consistent effort, even when you can't see immediate results. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that the progress will come in its own time. When you keep faith in the process, you avoid getting discouraged by short-term setbacks. You understand that the road to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of detours, bumps, and unexpected turns. But every experience, every challenge is shaping you into the person you need to be to reach your destination. Faith in the process is what keeps you going when it feels like giving up would be easier. It's the belief that the work you're doing now is preparing you for something greater. The small, consistent actions you take each day may not seem like much at the time, but they're building the foundation for your future. Keep going, keep trusting, and know that the process is working, even when you can't see the results right away.